Have you ever wondered why wealthy people have a completely different mindset? They possess something that the rest of us don't, and this has helped them achieve success that many can only dream of. But the question is, what do they think that you have never thought about? You might have heard of books like Think and Grow Rich, but do you know that there's a secret hidden in Napoleon Hill's teachings that most of us overlook? This is something that very few people recognize, and if you want to achieve something greater, you can't afford to miss it. Don't skim over this, because you are facing an opportunity to discover a truth that can change your entire mindset. Are you feeling like you've tried everything but still can't make a change? You've been persistent, worked hard, even listened to and read countless success advice from books, yet the results are still the same. Why is that? Could you be making a mistake that many others have made as well? Do you feel like you're running on a hamster wheel, constantly trying but not getting anywhere? Everything seems stagnant, and you feel farther from your goals each day. The truth is, you're not the only one feeling this way. Most of us have fallen into this trap. We read, we learn, but we don't really change. And the worst part is, we begin to question whether we were wrong from the start. You know you want to change, but you don't know where to start. You may have heard that mindset is the key to success, but you don't see any change in your life, right? Feelings of failure, worries about the future, lack of confidence, all of these make you wonder if things will ever really change. You might have dreamed of financial freedom, where you can work on your passion without worrying about money, but when you look back, it still feels like a distant dream, never within reach. But here's the truth that few people admit. You're not lacking ability. You're lacking the right strategy to take action. You're not wrong, you just need to change the way you think and the way you act. Don't worry, because in the next section I will share a secret that only truly successful people understand. This secret is not vague theories you hear in lectures. It's a clear method you can apply right now to change your mindset and move forward on the path to success. Napoleon Hill, a name most of us have heard when it comes to success. But the question is, what did he truly discover about what makes the wealthy succeed beyond the reach of others? Hill wasn't a born thinker. He was a practical researcher, seeking answers from the wealthiest and most successful people in the world. And through decades of research, he developed a system of 13 principles that anyone can apply to change their life. At the core of Napoleon Hill's principles is mindset. He didn't just talk about positive thinking like we often hear, but a mindset with clear goals, a specific action plan, and most importantly, belief in oneself. Belief is the first thing Hill considered essential to turn dreams into reality. Without belief, there's no motivation, and without motivation, how can you begin to take action? What Hill taught wasn't just about thinking of your goals, but having a clear plan to make those goals a reality. He didn't only encourage dreaming, but stressed that dreams cannot become reality without a clear strategy, a detailed way to proceed. And you know what? This is the biggest difference between the rich and the poor. But the important thing isn't just thinking about goals or making plans. Hill emphasized the necessity of perseverance. Some people read Hill's books and think that just positive thinking and planning is enough. But that's not the case. You need to persevere in the face of challenges and obstacles, overcome failure, and keep moving towards success. Without perseverance, all plans and dreams are just empty ideas. Another principle Hill often mentioned is the power of a support group, mastermind group. No one can succeed alone. Wealthy people and those who achieve great success in life have companions, trusted friends who help them on their journey toward their goals. This is something most of us overlook, but it's truly important. Hill believed that if you want to succeed, you need people around you to encourage, share, and exchange ideas, but also a group to discuss and solve difficult problems. Napoleon Hill was not just a thinker. He helped millions of people change their lives, from those with a small idea to real millionaires. And what he pointed out is, the key to success isn't luck. It's the consistent, planned application of the principles Hill developed. Secret number 1. Mindset alone isn't enough to become rich. You've probably heard countless times that positive thinking is the key to success. And yes, positive thinking is an important part of moving forward in life. But the truth is, mindset alone cannot bring wealth. If you stop at thinking wealthy without taking action, you will never see the results you want. Napoleon Hill pointed out something that very few people realize. Mindset is just the first step in the success process. But if you only think and don't act, you're no different from someone who dreams of great things but does nothing to make them a reality. And that's the mistake many people make. They spend hours each day imagining wealth, reading books, listening to podcasts, and even writing down their goals. But in the end, they remain stuck. The reason is simple. Mindset can't replace action. You've certainly heard famous phrases like think big or mindset is key, but have you ever asked yourself, how do you turn those thoughts into actions? The real secret isn't just thinking wealthy, but knowing how to connect your mindset with concrete actions. This is what Napoleon Hill emphasizes. You need a detailed plan and a clear action strategy. If you want to become successful, you need to start acting today, even if it's just small steps. Wealthy people aren't those with amazing ideas they never act on. On the contrary, they are the ones who take action and are ready to work hard, overcome failures, and persevere toward their goals. They understand that wealth doesn't come from thinking, but from consistent, persistent, and continuous action. I want you to ask yourself, are you acting enough to turn your dreams into reality? If the answer is no, then it's time for a change. And don't worry, you don't need to start with a giant step. As long as you take action and keep persevering, step by step, you will notice significant changes in your life. When you have the right mindset, set clear goals, and take the right actions, that's when you truly begin to build a path toward lasting success. In the next part, I'll share with you another important secret. Action is the deciding step to achieving success. Secret number 2. Action determines success. Once you have the right mindset, set clear goals, and have determination, the next step is action. But here's something many people overlook. Without action, everything will remain just theory. Napoleon Hill emphasizes that only action can turn dreams into reality. You may have an excellent plan, clear goals, and a positive mindset, but if you don't take immediate action, you'll forever live in a world of ideas without ever reaching true success. This is the clear difference between successful people and those who fail. You've probably heard someone say, start with small steps. But did you know that action, even if small, is the most important step to getting closer to your goals? Successful people never wait for everything to be perfect before starting. Instead, they take action as soon as they get the opportunity and are never afraid of failure. They understand that failure isn't the end, but a part of the learning and growth process. Think about the founders of major companies like Steve Jobs or Elon Musk. They didn't just have a vision, more importantly, they acted on their vision. Every step, even small ones, was taken with strong determination. They even faced countless failures before succeeding, but they never gave up. This is what Napoleon Hill wants you to understand. Action is the deciding factor. If you want to change your life, start today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Everything starts with action. Whether it's making a phone call, sending an email, or simply taking a small step in your plan, start now. When you take action, not only do you get closer to your goal, but you also create opportunities for yourself. Action doesn't mean doing something huge right away. Action just means taking the first step. A decision, a choice, or even a small gesture can open the door to bigger things later on. As Napoleon Hill said, every success begins with an idea, but it will only become reality when you act on it and persist with it. Success isn't a matter of luck or chance, but the result of continuous actions and determination. When you start taking action, you not only create opportunities, but you also build perseverance. This is the trait that all successful people share on their journey. You've probably felt fear when thinking about starting something new. Maybe you've ever thought, what if I fail? Or what if I'm not good enough? Fear and procrastination are the two biggest factors holding you back from achieving what you want in life. Napoleon Hill once said, fear is the greatest enemy of success. You may have great ideas, perfect plans, but if you can't overcome your fear, you'll never dare to take action. The unfortunate thing is that many people don't realize that fear is the biggest trap. When you're scared, you don't act. And when you don't act, you'll never know what you can achieve. The fear of failure can come in many forms. Fear of being judged by others, fear that what you do won't succeed, or simply the fear of change. But the truth is, fear is just a feeling, an imagination in your head. It's not the truth. And the interesting thing is, when you face your fear, you'll realize it's not as scary as you thought. Once you step out and take action, fear will gradually fade away. Remember, every success comes with failures, but failure is part of the learning process. Successful people aren't those who never fail, but those who never let failure stop them from taking action. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, waiting until you feel ready, you'll never start. In addition to fear, procrastination is also one of the biggest barriers. You've probably told yourself, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I need more time to prepare." But the truth is, tomorrow will never come unless you act today. The more you procrastinate, the farther you feel from your goal. Ask yourself, if I don't start today, will I regret it tomorrow? Procrastination only prolongs the feeling of failure and lack of confidence. The longer you wait, the more you'll realize that the opportunity is gone, and that's when you've truly lost. If you want to change, you must dare to face your fears and take action now. Don't let fear and procrastination hold you back. When you start taking action, you'll realize an important thing. Success is not a destination, but the journey you go through. And that journey begins with facing your fears and overcoming procrastination today. Secret number 3, perseverance and practical mindset. Have you ever felt like you're moving toward your goal, only to face an unexpected failure, and everything comes to a halt? Or simply, you've tried and tried, but the results still aren't as expected? That can be discouraging. And at times like these, perseverance is the most important factor to help you overcome all challenges. Napoleon Hill once said, "Success does not come to those who give up, but to those who never quit." This is the third secret Hill wants to share with us. You won't achieve success instantly, and there will definitely be times when you feel exhausted or experience failure. But perseverance is what will help you rise up after every fall and keep moving forward. If you look at successful people, you will notice one clear thing. They never give up, even when everything is against them. Success is not a sprint, it's a long marathon. You'll have to overcome many obstacles, and you may face failure multiple times. What's important is that you need to see failure as an opportunity to learn, rather than feel disappointed. Every time you fall, you learn a new lesson, a way to do better next time. However, perseverance isn't just about trying forever without giving up. Perseverance goes hand in hand with a practical mindset. A practical mindset doesn't mean you give up on big dreams. It means you understand the path you need to take and prepare for the challenges ahead. Successful people are not those who never face obstacles. They are those who understand that challenges and difficulties are an inseparable part of their journey. A person with a practical mindset will always prepare for the worst-case scenarios and know how to deal with them. They don't idealize success, but instead, they clearly see what they need to do and the steps they need to take to reach their goals. A practical mindset helps you stay on course when faced with difficulties, and perseverance keeps you taking action even when things aren't going your way. Remember, success is not something that comes immediately, but the result of consistent action and a practical mindset. If you maintain perseverance and hold on to a practical mindset, you will reach your final destination, despite the challenges along the way. The key is not giving up halfway, not letting fear or temporary failure stop you from continuing. In the next section, we'll explore real success stories from people who have applied these principles, proving that with perseverance and a practical mindset, any goal can be achieved. You will see, nothing is impossible if you are willing to persevere and take the right actions. When we talk about perseverance, a practical mindset and action, what's important is not just the theory, but how these principles truly change people's lives. Successful people are not always geniuses or those born into perfect conditions. They are simply those who applied the right mindset and never gave up. Let's look at a few real-life examples to help you understand the power of these principles. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, is a prime example. Jobs didn't start with a wealthy background. On the contrary, he was once fired from the very company he founded, but he never gave up. Jobs continued to persevere with his passion, creating products that would later change the world. What's important about Jobs was his unwavering perseverance and practical mindset. When people doubted his abilities, Jobs clearly saw that he needed to keep innovating, developing, and improving not just in technology but also in how products were used. The story of Thomas Edison is also a powerful testament to the power of perseverance and a practical mindset. Edison is famous for inventing the electric light bulb, but few know that he had to experiment over 1,000 times before finding a successful method. Once, when asked about his failures, he responded, "I haven't failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that don't work." Edison didn't give up when facing difficulties. Instead, he used each failure as a lesson and a step closer to his goal. Edison's perseverance and practical ability to see each challenge as an opportunity to learn was the key to changing the world. Finally, let's talk about J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before becoming one of the wealthiest authors in the world, Rowling went through countless rejections. She was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter was finally published. But instead of giving up, Rowling persevered and believed in the story she was writing. Rowling's story is a clear example that when you believe in yourself and don't give up despite failure, you will achieve success. These stories all have one thing in common. They are not stories of people who succeeded immediately, but of those who had to persevere, overcome hardships and failures to reach the final goal. These people applied a practical mindset, understanding that not everything will be easy, but they still took action, learned, and continued toward their objectives. If you want to change your life, these stories are the clearest proof that the right mindset and perseverance will lead to success. Today, we've explored 3 important secrets that Napoleon Hill shared about success. First, mindset alone is not enough to become wealthy. You need a clear plan, but more importantly, you must take action. You can't just sit there and dream about success without taking the necessary steps. The second secret is that action is the deciding factor in success. Successful people never stop acting, even when they face failure. And finally, the third secret is perseverance and a practical mindset. Success doesn't come immediately, but if you persevere and maintain a practical mindset, you will never give up halfway. So, where will you start? Take action today. Don't wait until everything is perfect. Make a small action plan and start executing it right now. The only way to change your life is through action. And remember, every failure is a lesson that brings you closer to your goal. If you found these secrets helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with future videos. I'm always here to support you in your journey to develop your mindset and achieve success. Leave a question or share your experience in the comments below this video.